Today, I'm talking about sleep habits. So some tips on how we can improve our sleep. Now, this is not going to be a surprising list to anyone because we've heard these literally everywhere for the past several years. We've heard we should avoid blue light, no TV and phones before bed. The room needs to be dark. It should be cold. We want to maybe have a wind down routine. It includes maybe some stretching. Maybe we read a book. We don't eat anything too close to bedtime. We've heard this long list of things, and these are all incredibly effective ways to improve your sleep. It always boils down to one question. Do you need to improve your sleep? If you don't have much trouble falling asleep, only takes you a couple minutes and then you're out most nights. And if you don't have much trouble staying asleep for several hours at a time, maybe you need to make no changes whatsoever. So that brings us to another kind of topic that runs in line with this is feeling guilty that you're not making any changes. But it's okay because maybe you don't have to. We are inundated with all these lists of all these amazing habits we should be doing. It's very easy to judge yourself harshly when you're not doing those things. But when it comes to sleep, if you are getting a pretty good night of sleep, maybe you don't have to make a change. Now, I wanted to talk about some of these things that are on the list of don'ts if you want to have a good night of sleep. And I want to make an argument for actually keeping some of them. So I'll tell you right out of the gate, most nights we're finishing our night watching TV. We don't watch TV in the bedroom, but prior to going up to bed, that's what we're doing. So 5 minutes before I'm in bed, I was watching TV. It doesn't affect my sleep, so I haven't made any changes there. The other thing I do pretty much every night is I have a snack after dinner. Many times that is much closer to an hour away from my bedtime. And it usually does not affect my sleep too much. Certain foods do, so I stay away from foods I know are gonna bother me. But for the most part, having a snack after dinner, even 20 or 30 minutes before bed, doesn't usually bother me. That may be different for you. Those may be things that are gonna drastically improve your sleep if you were to take those habits away. But what we need to do is a little trial and error. I also think that completely vilifying being on any kind of blue light device is maybe a bad idea. Maybe that 10 or 15 minutes of watching TV is part of your wind down routine. Maybe your brain needs that to actually shut down, reset, and fall into sleep. So if that's the case, removing that would be detrimental to your sleep quality. The only caveat with that approach is when that one episode turns into 2 and then 3, or we watch that entire movie and now we've made a significant dent in the amount of time we're gonna actually spend sleeping. But if that short habit, that 10 to 15 minute habit is gonna improve your sleep, don't rule it out. So don't feel guilty if you are one of those people that needs to flip on the TV for a couple minutes before you go to bed each night. The moral of the story is that you may have to do some trial and error, but this list of things, a dark and cold room, avoiding blue light, avoiding meals, potentially having some kind of wind down where you're going to stretch or journal or read or something like that, these are great places to start if you know that you struggle with sleep. So give them a shot, and I hope to help.